Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today we're going to take a look at the 11th entry in the United States State Quarter Series, the New York State Quarter from 2001. So let's take a look at the front of the quarters here. This, of course, is a Denver quarter, and let's put it right up there. And you can see that these are really, really hard to light. Just the way that they made these quarters, and it's with all the stuff on them, and actually, even the way they punched it out makes these quarters a little bit hard to keep in good condition. They just get all torn up. United States of America at the top, Liberty under George Washington's chin, which faces to the left. In God We Trust behind him. The mint mark would be right down here below the In God We Trust, and this, of course, is a Denver mint mark. And then down here it says $quarter. Now, there's something that many people miss when they look at these coins, and that is that the engraver's initials are at the bottom too. So you can see them right down here. Let's see if we can get a better view of these. It's going to be really hard to do. Like I said, these are hard to light and they're hard to see. If we do it about like that, you can almost see them. And I can tell you what it says down here. It says JF and WC. John Flanagan and William Cousins. Now, John Flanagan was the original designer of the United States quarter in 1932, and that original design, of course, was this design here. It said Liberty at the top, In God We Trust under his chin, the P behind him. And if we go down to this one, we can see back then it just had, this is the last of the pre-United States quarters, the last of the old quarters. There's a JF right above my pen there. That was made, these were made in 1998. 1999, they started making the State Quarter Series. And of course, the first in the State Quarter Series was the Delaware State Quarter. And I will get one of those out for you in a second. We'll take a look at it. The Delaware State Quarter, right here, it actually says it the first state. So you can see that many of the states of the United States came in within the first couple of years. They essentially signed to become parts of the United States. So you had to have 13 ratify in order to have a United States. Delaware was the first to ratify, and so this was the first one to get a state quarter in 1999. New York was the 11th to ratify, and hence in 1788 they became the 11th state. And then when they went to do the state quarters, they put 5 out the first year, 5 out the second year, and this is the first of the third year state quarters. So 5 in 1999, 5 in 2000, and then the 11th one, January of 2001, was the New York State Quarter. You can see if we magnify this up, we see this line through the center behind the Statue of Liberty. It actually comes out way over here. That is the Erie Canal, going up the Hudson across the Erie Canal over to Pennsylvania and Ohio. We look here, and there are 4 stars here and 7 stars here. Oddly enough, they add up to 11 because New York was the 11th state. And here it says Gateway to Freedom, and then, of course, right superimposed on everything is the Statue of Liberty. Now, the back of the coin is also way different than the old 1998 and before. And you can remember the old War Eagle quarters. And you can still find these all over the place, right? You find these in your change. People sometimes think they're valuable, but not too much value to an old beat-up U.S. quarter except for 25 cents. So this is the old War Eagle back. When they went to the State Quarter Series, they essentially went to the different reverse or back for each state. If we tip it up, we see that it is a copper nickel-clad copper, and that, of course, was the same as the old quarters, copper nickel-clad copper, at least from 1965 to 1998, same makeup. Prior to that, as you know, was the old silver U.S. coins, a 90% silver, and this is one from 64. So we got these quarters. New York came in. They were the 11th state quarter, and you'll see a lot of these quarters on eBay just for different amounts of money. And it's kind of hard to figure out sometimes how much they're worth. One of the things you need to do if you want to have uh, um, a valuable quarter is you're probably going to have to get somebody to certify it. So this is something that we see all the time. People say, well, I got the Washington quarter, but it has these bite marks in it. Is it worth anything? This actually is interesting. This did not come during the minting process. This came afterwards when they were putting all the coins together, probably. I'll show you a brand new 50-cent coin in with the same kind of marking on it. So somebody, we got this, brand new in the sense that it hasn't been used. It's a 2018. See this marking here? That's actually the edge of this quarter of a 50-cent piece hitting another one. And that's the same thing that we have here. Some quarter hit the side of this, kind of like this, and made a dent in it after they minted it. So it's not worth anything. It's just a kind of a scratched up quarter. It happened at the mint probably, but that doesn't make any difference because it wasn't part of the minting process. Another thing that you see sometimes is these coins that are clipped off, and they'll have a little clip out of them. Those are really hard to certify because it's hard to tell whether it happened at the mint or after. So if you ever want to buy a coin that has been kind of clipped off, my suggestion to you would be to make sure it goes through PCGS before you pay a lot of money for it. Now, are there some errors that are very interesting and maybe very valuable? Yeah, here's one here. This one's on eBay right now. And it is, I don't know if you can tell, it doesn't have the clad on it. It's just the copper inside. So what happens sometimes is you get one of these, and these are really hard to get. This probably costs about $250. It's just the very inside copper. It doesn't have the cladding on the outside. So that one that's on eBay is a PCGS certified one. So it's graded, and that one for $250, at least you know it is what it says it is, or it's very likely that it is what it says it is. All right. So we have the Philadelphia Mint. We have the Denver Mint, and there's one more mint, as everybody knows, and that's the San Francisco Mint. And they did, San Francisco Mint did put these out in a mint proof set, and they also put it out in a silver proof set, and I'll show you the silver proof set version right here. And let's get the light on this one. And if you see it, it's a little offset just because it's hard to get under the camera. But you can see that if you get the silver proof set, it's just amazing. One of the things you see sometimes when you see the proof sets is you see these little things. Like, what's this little thing down here? Well, that actually is an initial. That's Alfred Miletsky's initials. He was the designer of the New York State quarter, the back of it. Let's see if we can see that on one of the regular quarters. Yeah, and so you can't quite see it as well. It almost looks like it's a little island or something. This is actually almost a cursive A and an M for Alfred Miletsky, who was the designer of the back of these coins. All right, well, how many did they make? Well, they made a bunch. They made 655 million Pennsylvania. They made 619 million Denver. They made 3 million proof sets. And if you get a proof set quarter like this, it is probably worth $4+. And then they made, let me see how many, about 900,000 of these silver proof sets. So there's plenty of silver proof sets like the one I just showed you out there. But that silver proof set, if you pull the quarter out of that, it's probably worth $9 to $10 retail, and quite a bit less if you sold it to a dealer. All right, that's all we have today from DC Cornwell International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.